I know. We love the snow. We bring it on, bring it on.
Bring it on. Here we are.
Happy to see you and my other good friends, Sasha, Teresa, and Paul. Hi, guys. Long time no see. It's been what, 10 days, 12 days? I don't know. I've been mourning you since we left each other at the airport after our
Hello,
fam. Yeah.
Belleville.
Anyway,
Hi, Sonia. Sonia's here. So we're getting started.
oh,
Our
great.
skilled agents are coming in, and
Yay.
we're live on Facebook as well. We're
Nice.
live on Zoom. We're live on LinkedIn, and we're live on YouTube. So I think we have it all covered here.
Good.
Let's get YouTube started up here and Facebook, and we're gonna get this going. We're so excited to see everybody.
Yeah, there's
Awesome. Here we
no
go.
no hiding with all our connections. Wow.
Well, we pull out the big guns for you, Carrie, always.
Thanks, Susan. We so
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Hello. All right. Well, listen, we are going to get started. I'd like to take this moment to thank everyone for joining us. My name is Susan Koyman from Spoiled Agent. We have a very good friend of ours here from Spoiled Agent, Carrie. Carrie represents the Saint Martin Tourism Authority. Welcome, Carrie.
Thank you, Susan. I'm so happy to be here. In fact, I'm going to put my glasses on because things are getting real.
Things are getting
Um,
real. We're so
yes.
excited you guys could join us today. And I know that you are doing something very unique, and we love this. So, you have also brought some friends with you as well. And I'm sure a lot of our spoiled agents might know some people on here. If everyone can just unmute themselves, that'd be great. And I would like you to introduce who you brought and what we're going to be talking about today with some first hand. I like the way you call it scoop.
Yeah, some scoop. Okay, well, that's awesome. Thank you, Susan. So I am super excited for today's webinar. We're going to have so much fun. Um, I've called in the dream team. We had a FAM to St. Martin, October 26th to November 2nd. That was a scavenger hunt on spoiled agent. And thank you, everybody who participated. But you're going to see three of the nine lucky winners. And we're raw dogging it today. It's going to sort of be like the Bachelor or Bachelorette tell all, reveal. So, Sasha Pinto from Counting Countries, and Teresa Stevenson from TK Travel by Design, and Paul Nielsen from Paragon Travel have kindly taken this hour to speak to you. So, I am going to, after Susan does a bit of housekeeping, just do a very quick intro. Then I'm going to pass the baton to our dream team. And yeah, you won't have to listen to me talk. You're going to get the real truth about Saint Martin and Saint Martin from our dream team. So yeah, thank you
Amazing.
guys
Well,
for
thanks,
coming.
Carrie, for that. And I want to welcome all the spoiled agents for joining us live. We are live, like I said, on Facebook. If you're joining us on Facebook, please add your email in the comments. I see Wendy already has. Thank you, Wendy. So we know you're here. And also today, I know Carrie's going to be very, very generous. And we'll be giving away a $100 gift card today, right? To a spoiled agent, Carrie?
You bet, Susan.
Amazing. Thank you for that.
You're
And how
welcome.
you guys qualify is you have to stay on the question period. You don't necessarily have to ask a question, but please, if you do have any questions, put them only in the Q&A box, not in the chat. And I say that, and now our spoiled agents that are on here today with us, they understand because the chat moves up and we lose it. And I know you might have some questions for our amazing, I'm going to call them Saint Martin experts today because these guys have won the fan through spoiled agent. They had firsthand information, and these are seasoned agents that cannot wait to deliver the news for sure, the scoop, as Carrie calls it. All right, so we're recording the session for you all. This will be on Carrie's page a little later on spoiledagent.com. You just go down to tourist boards and boom, you're going to see Carrie, how you can get her contact information, agent rates, everything that you need to know. Okay, so today is a little bit different and this is a very special day. So thank you guys for joining us. And now I'm going to meet you at the end at the Q&A, Carrie, and spoiled agents, Sasha, Teresa, and the amazing Paul Nielsen. All right. So
Excellent.
thanks again. And we're just going to close our cameras and our mics when we're not chatting.
Okay, awesome. So, Thank you, Susan, very much for that introduction and for all you do. We love Spoiled Agent from the bottom of our hearts. And thank you to all of you Spoiled Agents who have taken the time out of your busy days to join us. We really appreciate it because we know you have lots on the go. So, I, just one sec, gonna get this moving. So here we are. This is our group. We flew on WestJet to St. Martin, and this is when we'd arrived, received our luggage. It was a pretty easy flight, I'd say. 4 hours, 40 minutes, 30 minutes-ish, who's counting? But we got there, we were all excited to head to our resort. So without me uncovering any of the details, I am shortly going to pass the baton on to Sasha Pinto. But before I do that, I really wish that we had huge budgets and could charter big planes and take every single spoiled agent to St. Martin. But you know what? Unfortunately, that's not the case. So this will give you a little sampling of what everybody experienced when we were there. So introducing the Super Sasha Pinto of North Star Travel, and I am going to pass the screen over to you, Sasha.
Thank you, Carrie. And thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. Just going to get this started. And here we go. So as Carrie mentioned, I'm Sasha Pinto, and I am an independent travel advisor affiliated with North Star. My company name is Counting Countries. I help Canadian travelers seeking family and group trips to all-inclusives, to the Caribbean, Europe, cruises worldwide, and Disney. I am here to give you the real scoop, as been told, when it comes to traveling the beautiful island of Saint Martin. You really do get a 2-in-1 experience by being at this island, since, as you probably know, we have the French side and the Dutch side. So we were sort of tasked by answering a few questions to help us along in our presentation. Just a little sneak, little behind the scenes there for you. One of the questions was asked, what surprised me the most? And I have to say, I was expecting, when being on the Dutch side of Saint Martin, to see heavily influences of the Dutch, right? But I didn't find that to be the case. Given the fact that I actually am from the Netherlands, I was a little homesick to hear the Dutch accent on an ongoing basis, and maybe even test out my Dutch, hearing and speaking skills. But there just wasn't a lot of Dutch influence left, I found, from what I saw, and this is just my opinion. Did this make or break my trip? Absolutely not. It was just something I expected and didn't happen. Having said that, we did get to go visit a place called Amsterdam Cheese and Liquor Store, and we did a cheese and wine tasting. It was a great time that we spent. And one of the things that I would just emphasize, that if you were to, possibly ask or suggest this as part of the itinerary of some of your travelers going to Saint Martin, I would emphasize that the tour is more about the cheese than the wine. I know in some wine tasting packages, it's really all about the alcohol that's being consumed, but we really got a deep dive into the different types of cheeses and how they were produced. And I loved it, actually. I loved understanding how it was all done. And then the beverages were just sort of just an accompaniment. So if, from a booking tip perspective, I would just make sure you know that it's more so a cheese tasting with a little bit of alcohol, if you so please. And so the next thing I wanted to talk to you about were hidden gems. And to be honest, there were just so many. Maybe this is a good time to say that this is my first FAM, and I feel like I got really spoiled because I had the opportunity to really uncover the beauty of the island, to get to see some great properties, but also to experience some of the activities that we can now suggest to our travelers. One of them is learning how to make body lotion. And Nectar Skincare is a really well-known brand on the island. And we had the opportunity to go in, learn how to make the lotions, and you can see by the second photo there that we all got to take home one of the lotions that we created. And then we had a great shopping experience. And I know a lot of people probably had a little extra luggage weight added at the end of the trip because we really loaded up on all the products that you can have at that store. The next thing that I would say is a real hidden gem is the perfume making. So Nectar workshop was on the Dutch side, and then on the French side we were able to actually make some perfume. And what a great experience, because you really have a thorough history of perfume. And as you can see from the bottles, we had to narrow it down to 3 scents, which was a task and a half. And I know Carrie can attest to this, to try and create a fragrance that we liked. But I really enjoyed this, and I really can see a lot of travelers enjoying this and adding it to their itinerary when visiting Saint Maarten as something that you get to do with your friends or maybe family. And you leave with your own created perfume, which was really cool. Some honorable mentions, I would say, is learning how to play the steel drums was really fun. And we also got to do a mixology course at JW Marriott. I wanted to showcase the island's best damn beach bar, Big Bastards. And I feel like as Canadians, for all the Canadians are here, we like to support Canadians supporting Canadians. And when you're in St. Maarten, you can actually visit this bar that is owned by 2 Canadian individuals. So this could be a nice little stop if you are in Phillipsburg and wanted to check out these really cool Canadian men here. And they have a whole slew of alcoholic beverages to choose from. If you aren't into alcohol, they have non-alcoholic, and they have day rates to renting beach chairs and a whole bunch of things, which really work out well for those cruise ports when the cruise ports and people are offloaded to the island. So this is a really good bar to visit. And as I mentioned, we did a mixology course at JW Marriott. That was a lot of fun. You have time making 3 beverages. And as not a heavily alcoholic beverage drinker, you were able to make things without the alcohol as well. And it's just a lot of fun. So I would say that's a great hidden gem too. I'm going backwards. Give me a moment here. Okay, so the hotel that stood out the most, we saw, now I think everyone will probably be able to correct me, but I think we saw about 6 or 8 properties, if I'm not mistaken, or probably more. But the one that stood out the most to me was the Divi Little Bay. When we visited there, it was obviously beautiful weather. In fact, we had beautiful weather every single day of our trip. There was maybe a 5-minute downpour rain, and then it was gone. But what I liked about this property was the way it was set up. I liked the infinity pool, a variety of different rooms. This little bird over here is their mascot. And one thing that really stood out is the GM actually conducted the site tour for us, and she would be able to address guests by their name and have conversations and have little exchanges. And the level of respect and friendliness amongst the staff is top notch. So this is some of the reasons why this property stood out, because they really take to being, friendly, as we know St. Maarten is known as the Friendly Island. So here's a little video, a little glimpse of one of the units that they have at the Divi Little Bay. Very clean, very spacious, and great views depending on the room type that you have. And they do have a variety of different room types that also lend to people with bigger groups and families. They have adjoining rooms and suites to accommodate those larger size traveler, people traveling with larger size numbers. Wow moments during the trip. It was the food. I I don't even know how to describe how incredible the food experience was. Not only did we get to have some scrumptious food that felt like more island native cuisine, and then we had the French influence for the restaurants that we saw on the Dutch side, on the French side. These photos don't even give it justice. The food was just incredible, and my favorite food was at the, excuse my pronunciation, Le Pressoir. Who would have thought that I would ever think to say a poached egg was the most tasty thing I've ever had in my entire life? Poached egg, but it really just was incredible. And so was the entree and dessert. They have incredible food, and that was definitely my favorite restaurant during the whole trip. My second favorite for the vibe was Barate. It's a breakfast brunch spot, and look at this. They're taking avocado toast to a whole new level, French toast to a whole new level. And this is just two of the dishes that I got to experience and we had at that restaurant. When you're talking about who are the ideal clients, in my opinion, couples, friend groups, people who appreciate exploring the destination and not just want to stay at a resort because there's just so much to see and do. People who appreciate food, the foodies, foodie travelers. And I'd have to say strong swimmers, because I am not a strong swimmer and the currents are very strong. And unfortunately, I lost my prescription sunglasses in the ocean. Teresa was there. She knows what happened. I'm just not going to get into the details of it, but I would say, if you want to swim in the ocean, you need to be a little bit of a stronger swimmer. And the best part of the destination, hands down, the people. They call it the Friendly Island, and there's a reason for that. Everyone is just so friendly, so respectful, so professional. The things that I saw, I mentioned at Divi Hotel with respect to the exchanges between people. I saw that throughout the trip on both the Dutch and the French side. I went on a day trip with Noreen, I believe her name was. Excuse me if I believe that's her name. Well, we did a little tour, and how many times she waved hello or someone shouted out hi back to her. That friendliness is really ingrained in the island, and the people really own up to that name. And then, of course, I would be remiss without saying a huge shout out to the best fam group ever. Of course, it's my first one, but they set the bar high. I feel we had so much fun, and it's all thanks to the tourism crew and to Carrie, of course. And just to end my little presentation, here's a couple little videos that I created with our team. Wait a minute. I forced them to do that jump every place that we visited on one day. And this is just to tie things up. No fun was had. I'm kidding. So much fun was had. So much to do with this island. I love Saint Maarten. I can't wait to go back, and I can't wait to tell anyone who's looking for a getaway to go to this island. So thank you so much. And back to you, Carrie.
Oh, Sasha, thank you. Wow, I almost got a little teary in parts. Really appreciate you sharing your perspective on the island and what you picked up, or some of what you picked up, and the experiences and just the whole feel and vibe. You really captured it all. In fact, I think I'm just going to use that for all my future sales presentations. So thank you very much. Now we are going to move on to Teresa Stevenson. There she is, the lovely Teresa, who is going to talk to you about her experience and some of the island vibes. So take it away.
Okay, hi guys. Teresa from TK Travel by Design. I'm located in Brampton, independently owned and run. I'm telling you, Sasha did an amazing job. Like, wow, everything that came back to me is like, woo, what an experience. So I am coming now from my perspective as a Caribbean specialist and also being one of Jamaica top specialists, actually won top 50. So I'm one of the top 50 agent for Jamaica specialists. So my vision and how I perceive St. Martin is like, to me, a hidden gem, but boutique style. Because Jamaica is known more big, commercialized and stuff. So for me to compare St. Martin, it was breathtaking. So just to go down the list of saying what most surprised me is that the culture, it's so similar, especially with the food that I got there. It was like they were doing everything that we as Jamaican, curry goat, oxtail, snapper, conch. I'm just saying, wow, wow, what a difference to bring that vibe into St. Martin as a Dutch and French. It was like, to me, I was just breathtaking. So that was my wow moment to see all my food. The people were amazing, just like Sasha says, friendly. They go above and beyond. It was just amazing. My favorite spot, I'm gonna also jump on the Divi, Little Bay, as Sasha told you there. I think we all were in cahoots with that one. We really like it, as well as the general manager walking around and everybody just, take to her as well. And it was really, really nice to see that. Again, I'm only comparing it as far as the other Caribbean that I've been to, and Jamaica is my biggest to say, wow, what an hidden gem. And for this destination to be such a boutique, quiet, but yet just happy feelings. So I love it. What else can I say? A hotel I talk about and how I will sell this destination. As I was saying to Carrie, I want to sell it. I'm a group specialist actually as well. I do a lot of group bookings, weddings, and BFF group, family and friends, family reunion. I am selling this destination. I'm already planning my group for next year as stay at one, but play at four. We got the opportunity to be on the Dutch side and on the French. And now I want to incorporate a day trip to the Anguillan Island as well as to St. Bart for a half day. So to me as a group, I would sell it as that for a 1 week vacation. For people who wants to explore the island, like Sasha said, would be perfect for this destination. So St. Martin is so far one of my top. I thought I had other destinations until I got here. So Carrie, thank you for the experience. I think I said it all when I say you can't go wrong selling or going to St. Martin.
Teresa, thank you. Holy, this is amazing. And other spoiled agents, there has been no bribery yet uh, to to our amazing presenters. But I love, Teresa, that you captured the not just twice the Caribbean with the Dutch and French sides, but also 4 times that you can island hop and expand on your experiences. So that's fantastic. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
now we are going to move on to the amazing Paul Nielsen from Paragon Travel. So Paul, before you start, Paul, I do have to say, here's a photo of Paul and another advisor who was awesome, Nancy on our FAM. The Blue Jays were in the World Series. Whoop whoop, Jays! They gave it such a good shot. Well, we were in Saint Martin and in Saint Martin, and Nancy and Paul were tried and true and watched every single game and cheered to the bitter end. So anyway, Paul wins the Superfan with Nancy Award. Okay, Paul, take it away.
Thank you, Carrie. Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me here. Today, I'm calling you from the Chow Internet Cafe in Tecumseh, Windsor. So sorry about the little bit of background noise, but I was down here on business. I figured, let's call in. This picture was Halloween morning where our intrepid tour leader, Carrie, showed up in this pink octopus costume. That set the stage for the gives you a flavor for this kind of place. Now, just while we look at these pictures, I just want to tell you that the biggest surprise for me was the extreme difference between the two halves of the island. The fact that on the Dutch side, they use American plugs with 110 volt. On the French side, they use the 220 volts with European plugs on an island of 37 square kilometers. Absolutely amazing. But the other half of that division is the fact that you have two culinary cultures in one destination. So if somebody wants to experience different dining styles, you can find pretty much anything from these two European backgrounds while you're there. Now, I've been asked, what was kind of a gem that really touched my heart? There's one hotel, it's called the Forest Hotel up in the north end of the island. It's up in the hills. It's an intimate little hotel with, I think, 14 rooms. Absolutely stunning place. Make sure to look at that one. We'll publish more information out on those. This is one of the bathtubs in one of the villas that we looked at. Stunning design ethic. So really interested here. We looked at the Dibby Hotel. We stayed in Mr. Mahal. We stayed in the Hyatt Grant on the French side. This is the hotel. Parents, clients might be interested in this place. People who are tired of jerk chicken all the time and just laying on the beach getting sunburned. This has an overload of culinary cultures that anybody with a more sophisticated view of the world, they can think of it as visiting Europe without enduring the jet lag. So overall, I loved the crew that we were with. Teresa and Nancy I've traveled with before. Carrie I've known for years. The Tourism Bureau people on the island were phenomenal. Absolutely went out of their way to make this an educational experience for us and a little bit of fun at the same time. This was us dining, having lunch with our feet dangling in the water with fish swimming around us. Amazing experiences. And if I could just drop an idea, if you were to go to one of our tour operators in Canada, you can design with deviation, very simply, a 2-site visit over 10 days that will satisfy your clients completely and will want them coming back for more, and they will be telling all their friends about it as well. So that's my take on it. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Sasha, Teresa, and Susan. Always glad to be here. And by the way, Brett, you made a comment about the FAMs. You're absolutely right. The tourist board FAMs are the best because they're not tied to one hotel chain. So thank you, Carrie.
Thank you, Paul, very much. And I absolutely love how you're putting the package together and working with airline deviations, etc., thinking really outside the box. But Paul, I apologize because I was moving your slides. So I just want to go back to one of them for you. Hang on. Oh, one sec. Because you didn't comment on sorry, hang on. What is happening here? Sorry, everybody. Oh my goodness. Anyway, just bear with me. I want to get a shot of the villa. We saw a beautiful villa that Paul, you wanted to include in your presentation, and I was pretending it was my home, a 6-bedroom villa, all with their own washroom. So, Paul, do you have anything to add about the villa situation?
Sure. This particular villa was stunning, not only because of its destination, it's overlooking the ocean in Oyster Bay, but the fact that it can be subdivided. So you don't have to rent the whole villa. Each of the bedrooms areas can be dealt with separately. If you want to take 30 of your friends, you can have a great time there. But you can subdivide it and enjoy the experience without having to take the whole place. And any of us can connect you with the company that is managing this. Just talk to Vox, talk to us, and we can get you the contact information. And you take care of it with your clients.
Right. Thank you, Paul. Well, honestly, such great perspective, our lunch on the water, as you said. And of course, we can't forget, this is an excellent photo you took. Paul would take candid photos of people doing different things, and this was watching the KLM flight come in from a bar called the Sunset Bar. So it was, that's a great shot, Paul. Thanks for sharing it. And we're talking some serious business there at the villa, I believe. No, that's at Oyster Bay Resort on the deck. But anyway, thank you, thank you. Amazing. Just a few more things with respect to St. Maarten. There is great lift, and it's all fully operational right now from Toronto and Montreal on Air Canada, WestJet, Sunwing, Air Transat, and Air Canada's increased their lift to 5 weekly flights. WestJet has more lift this season, both out of, for Air Canada, out of Montreal and Toronto, they've increased, and WestJet out of Toronto. So it's easy to get to St. Maarten for the winter season. And just a quick little reminder, for your clients, or when you go or you send your clients, that it is wise to fill out the entry form. There's a newer embarkation form that if they do it ahead when they arrive, it just expedites and makes the arrival process easier. They just have to scan their passport and have a photo taken, and then really go through one more little security measure and go get their luggage and start having fun. Now, as far as resources go, I'm sure many of you, I hope many of you are signed up for One Caribbean Canada. But if you're not, please take a look at onecaribbeancanada.ca. There's about 25, I think now, Caribbean destinations who are members. St. Maarten and St. Maarten, we're both members, and it's basically a resource. There's a travel agent portal that's just for you guys. It's not a booking engine or anything. It's an information source that gives you all sorts of scoop on multiple Caribbean destinations. And every week, an e-blast with some what's new or what's next, etc. information is sent out. So it's awesome. And of course, Spoiled Agent rates. Please check out our Spoiled Agent site. We'll continue to add, but if you would like to go to St. Maarten on your own, we have some great deals so you can experience it firsthand via the Spoiled Agent rates. And of course, here's a few more resources for you. There's a fact sheet that the St. Maarten Hotel Association puts out. The links, it's the first link. It's a fact book on accommodation and different island information, as well as the second link that is high season week by week. If you check that out, if you have clients going or you're going, it lists happy hours where live music is playing. It's just sort of the inside scoop of what's going on the island. So you can look and just send your clients little tidbits and say, hey, when you're there, go check out what have you. And of course, the events. There's always events going on the island, but the big ones coming up would be the Heineken Regatta in early March, a big sailing race. It's in its 41st year. So if you have any yachting clients or people who are interested in sailing, or really just a big party, the SXM Music Festival will be after that in March. And that's basically a music festival, all sorts of DJs where the island becomes a dance floor. Then we get into the carnival season. And then in June is our Flavors Festival, where local restaurants put together special menus and have some great different food options and specialties available. And actually on the French side right now, they have their, it's their food month. So anybody going to St. Maarten, there will be amazing dining on the French side and the Dutch side too, but it's their food festival right now. So you have our social media handles, etc., and my contact information, but that is pretty much it. Again, I really have to thank the dream team, Sasha, Teresa, and Paul, again for making the time to share their experience in Saint Martin and Saint Martin, and to all of you for hanging in there. Please send your clients with confidence to Saint Martin, a little French, a little Dutch, twice the Caribbean, and just know that they'll come back happy and want to return next year. But thank you. And Susan, over
Wow.
to you. Thank you.
What a special day today. I mean, to
I
have
know.
like firsthand information for our spoiled agents to take their time from bookings, Saint Martin to come on today to share their experiences on the FAMs, like amazing. And I know, I agree. I feel like tourist board FAMs are amazing because you really get to see those hidden nuggets that people don't know or know to go to.
Yeah.
Just a question. I think both Sasha and Teresa were recommending the Divi. I'd like to know too. Rebecca's asking on Zoom, is a Divi all inclusive?
You know what? Actually, in great question. And when I was talking about air, I didn't mention that there are package options with Air Canada Vacations, WestJet Vacations, and Sunwing Vacations that package Divi Little Bay as well as Sinesta Resort and other resorts on both the French and Dutch side. But Divi Little Bay is they have an all-inclusive option. It's not a traditional all-inclusive, but you can level up to make it all-inclusive. It's generally a European plan, but you can make it all-inclusive.
But to your point, Paul, Sasha, and Teresa were saying, get out, explore, eat local.
Yes.
Sasha, I want to go have that avocado toast for breakfast. My God, I'm dying over here.
It
Well,
was
and a lot.
amazing.
A shout out to Ursula. Ursula's using she's using the AI to make some notes on today. So good for you to do that. I love it. Lots of great comments. I have some hands up here on Zoom. Please, on Zoom, you have to put your questions in the Q&A. There's far too many of you guys for us to unmute you. Our Facebook friends, you guys are blowing up the internet over here. You got YouTube, you got Facebook going crazy.
Oh,
Facebook friends, I see we have some new people joining us, like Eileen, for example, Gloria. Can you guys please add your email in the comments so we know you're with us today? Rebecca, anytime, anytime. Okay.
hey, Susan, I have
Yes.
one other thing to say. Paul alluded to it, but there is a bit of an issue in Saint Martin from some. There's a bit of an octopus problem. Anyway.
Who's that? Was that you, Carrie?
It's super friendly though.
Yeah,
Oh,
Say
that's
hi and give
awesome.
a treat.
Anyway, I digress. Please carry on.
Carrie goes out all the way. Let me tell you, when you go on one of the FAMs with Carrie, it's all fun, but also great learning. And that's what I love our collaboration. Learning is fun, and we can make that together work for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is it? I know you guys are going to do a follow-up email, Carrie. If you can share the links, they
Yes,
talk about
absolutely.
Carla. We'll make sure that happens for sure for you guys. And also, we're going to also send, of course, an email with the winner of the $100 gift card from Carrie. But
You
I
bet.
have to see if it's okay, Carrie. We're also going to, from Spoiled Agent, just because everyone has joined the presentation with us today, your name goes into the pot to win a $250 gift card from Spoiled Agent as well. We do the
What?
draw for all of our webinars on the first Thursday of the month. So you might win from today, who knows? But check I put on Facebook stuff on the first Thursday of the month. We already just did it, Kelly and I. So check for next month. You never know. It's like a double dip, which is totally allowed.
At Christmas time, no less. Holiday season, that would be perfect.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
All right, I have another great question. I'm not sure if anyone and the agents want to chime in. For those clients not in an all-inclusive plan, how much should they plan to spend on a day for meals? I love this. So stay on the French side. They stayed on the French side a long time ago, and it was fairly expensive, but I believe, like from what Sasha was showing, there's some, hidden little gems too. Is that right, Carrie?
Yeah, and I would love Paul, Teresa, or Sasha to pipe up, but really, there's everything from budget to high end dining, and there's the little, they're called Lolos, the little locally owned and locally operated places that, and on the French side in Grand Casse and in Marigot, and there in Simpson Bay, etc., on the Dutch side, where it's local food. Well, actually, not only just local food, because there's 140 different nationalities in St. Martin, so you can get
Wow.
all sorts of different food. But that tends to be you can eat for $10 a meal or something. So it depends where you go and how you want to spin it. Is that fair to say, Dream Team?
Teresa, Paul, Sasha?
If I could just jump in here, I would 100% say that perhaps organize the hotel with a breakfast plan and then go from there. Because that allows you to experience all the different kinds of food in the area. And if I can highlight that, La Playa Orient had a fabulous dining environment just one street over. We've walked out onto the beach, over into the restaurant area, and it was astounding. And we were there Halloween evening, and all the kids running around. Like, I'm not a family resort kind of a guy. I like adult home, but all these kids running from restaurant to restaurant in this open air environment was so damn charming. I loved it.
I agree with you, Paul, all the way. And the food was amazing, the culinary experience. So definitely, I am agree with you with the breakfast plan and just go and explore. That was it. The food is what gets me. The connection, the spice, the flavor. Love it.
You're
There's a
making me
quick
hungry.
There's a question from Brett, our buddy Brett. Hi, Brett. He says, so St. Bart's and Anguilla, we're talking ferries to get to both of those islands. Do we have distance, times? I'm not sure, Carrie, if you can help.
Yeah, you do. It's about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour to St. Bart's, and Anguilla, probably 45 minutes. And please tell, well, for yourselves or your clients, they need to take their passports when they go to another island. So that's important.
That's
But
a pro
yes,
tip.
there's ferry rides, there's ferries you can take. I mean, you could take a puddle jumper flight or charter a sailboat, or there's tour companies that have day trips going to the different islands. So there's multiple ways to get there.
Amazing. Leslie Ann on Zoom says, and the grocery stores, markets,
Oh,
and tea shops are amazing if you want to do your own self cooking or whatever, which is great because I know you touched on the villas. Like life isn't all about all inclusives, right? As you know. So I love that. Maybe if you're staying in a villa, Leslie Ann, you can go out and get that and have some meals there and have some meals out and immerse yourself in the local culture still, right?
that's such a good point. And Leslie Ann, hi. Was We were together in St. Martin last December and had a great time too. And we had a grocery store adventure that was kind of next level. So very good point.
Okay, and Ruth, who I also believe was on your fam, but not on here right now, she's on Zoom with us. She said the food was delicious on both sides, the French and the Dutch. And
Thank you,
Duke
Ruth.
on Zoom said, I read that going to the islands is cash only for the ferries to St. Barton and Anguilla. Can we confirm that?
Uh, I don't, I don't know, actually. I don't think that's the case at all, but I will verify. I'm pretty sure you can use credit card as well.
Okay. So, Carrie, I know WestJet was also a host with your fam, getting everyone to the beautiful island of Saint Martin. We've got people on Facebook like Guy. Guy is asking, what about more fams? Because they're all jealous that they're not on this one.
Listen, the more fams, the merrier. We'll do our best. We'll do our best. Yes, stay tuned.
Okay,
Nothing
great.
in the works right now, but we're always brewing.
Okay, and Paul, shout out from Ethel. Paul, she says exactly. You get to eat all the local culture and local options are the best. For sure. We knew that Ethel would be watching because her buddy, her bestie there, Paul's on today. So we knew she'd be here. Amazing. Hi, Eileen. Lots of great people on Facebook, on Zoom, on YouTube, and LinkedIn for sure. All right. Well, I think that might be it for today. If everyone can just come back on, I want to do a little group shot here of us before I let everyone go. Let's see here. Amazing. Okay. Let's have a big smile.
All
Paul,
right.
everyone. Great. Thank you guys so much for everything. It has been such a pleasure. And you guys have done a great job. And I have to say, Carrie, you did a great job orchestrating this after you just came back like days
Oh,
ago. And you
so
have a
hard.
great fan people with you. Putting this together is something unique. And everyone's looking for that. Like, it's great to read stuff, but to actually hear, Sasha's take, Teresa's take, Paul's take, and everyone has a different take on it. And your take too, Carrie. So amazing.
Well, thank you, Susan, and all the other spoiled agents, but really, I can't take any credit for this. It's Sasha, Teresa, and Paul who made it happen. So, mwah! Thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody.